Ever get that, like, you're listening to English, everything's clear, maybe even read tons of stuff, no problem. But then you got to speak,
Yeah.
and it's like, poof, everything's gone.
It's like hitting a wall, right?
Total blank, stuck. The words just won't come out.
Happens to so many people.
Oh, big time.
If that's you, well, this deep dive, perfect spot to be.
Absolutely. This is exactly what we're digging into today, and we've got this cool material. It's like eavesdropping on Katie and Sharon. Katie's got that whole stuck thing, can't speak. And Sharon, she's got these simple techniques that really helped her get past it.
Nice.
So we're going to guide you through their talk, pick out the good stuff, the stuff you can actually use.
But practical stuff.
Exactly. No crazy theories or studying forever. Just how to speak more fluently, starting like now.
Love that approach. And, right off the bat with Katie and Sharon, it's how well Katie explains that disconnect.
Yeah.
She gets it, she understands, but then speaking, nope, total freeze.
That mental block.
It is. It's like your mind goes blank, and even if you get words out, you're overthinking every single one.
I've been there.
Classic language learner struggle, really common.
And Sharon gets it. She talks about being in the exact same boat before she lived abroad.
Oh, really?
Yeah, reading, listening, all good, but speaking. Oh, man, different beast.
Totally.
But she got through it, which is encouraging to hear.
Very. And, Katie, thinking about one-on-one classes, that brings up something a lot of learners face.
Totally.
That investment, time, money.
It's real.
So she's hesitant. Right.
Yeah.
Can she even keep up with it, do the work consistently?
Makes sense. Wants to make sure it's worth it.
Exactly. It highlights that need for practical stuff that fits into your life.
Not some big, vague idea, right?
Not at all. And that leads to this turning point in their conversation.
Oh, yeah.
Sharon's brother gave her some advice. Forget endless classes being the only answer.
Interesting.
Key thing, he said, daily practice, got to do it every day. Doesn't matter how many classes. It's about using the language regularly.
Like a habit.
Exactly. And here's the encouraging part. No need for hours of hardcore studying.
That's good to hear.
Sharon's brother, he helped her make this 10-minute speaking routine.
10 minutes?
10 minutes. Suddenly feels way less overwhelming.
Right.
Not this giant thing you put off.
I can almost hear Katie's relief. 10 minutes making a difference.
I know, right? And it's not just random. The routine, it's structured but simple. Makes it doable.
So what's the first step?
Picking a simple topic or a question. Something like, what did I do today? Or favorite food.
Super basic.
Exactly. Nothing fancy. The point is to shift the focus. Not what you say, but how.
Makes sense. It's stuff you already know how to talk about in your own language.
Right. So you're working on getting those thoughts out in English.
The words, the phrases, yeah.
Step 2, this is cool. Listen to a short conversation or a podcast just to get familiar with how native speakers sound.
So like listen first, then practice.
Exactly. You're getting your brain ready, hearing how it's actually spoken.
The rhythm, the flow, yeah.
Right. And then step 3 brings it all together.
Okay, let's hear it.
You repeat or imitate how native speakers say things. Then you talk about the topic you pick and record yourself.
Oh, that can be scary for some people.
It can, but it's super valuable. It's feedback,
Yeah.
even if it feels weird at first.
You start noticing things you wouldn't have otherwise.
You do. And Sharon says doing this even just for 10 minutes consistently can lead to big progress in fluency.
That's great. But Katie brings up a good point. What if you've got no one to practice with?
And Sharon's answer, so simple. Talk to yourself.
To yourself.
Sounds a little out there, but think about it. No pressure at all.
True.
Just describe what's around you. Like she says, I'm making coffee, the water's boiling, the smell's amazing, anything.
Turning everyday stuff into practice?
Exactly. You can say your thoughts out loud, tell yourself a story about your day, anything to get comfortable making sentences in English, even when you're alone.
It's like bridging that gap. Instead of thinking in your native language and then translating, you start thinking in English directly.
Right, building that habit.
Now, Katie brings up another big challenge, pronunciation.
Oh, yeah. Everyone struggles with that at some point.
And Sharon introduces this technique, shadowing. Okay, break that down for us.
So shadowing, you listen to a native speaker, and then you repeat what they're saying almost at the same time, like an echo. You're their shadow.
So mimicking them.
Exactly. Their sounds, intonation, the rhythm, everything. The main benefit, it trains your mouth and your ears to the way the language actually sounds.
Like a workout for your mouth and your ears.
Exactly. And the steps are clear. Pick a short audio, a podcast, a movie scene, anything. Listen once to get the gist. Then replay it, repeating each line.
Okay.
She says, pay close attention to how words connect and where the emphasis is in a sentence. That's key to sounding more natural.
Got it. So another technique Sharon mentions is the 1-minute speaking challenge. Sounds pretty intense.
It does, but it works. You pick a topic, anything, and talk about it for a whole minute. No stopping, no hesitating. The goal is to just keep talking.
So not about being perfect grammatically.
Nope. It's about getting those words out, thinking on your feet, not getting hung up on one word.
What if you don't know the exact word?
Then you paraphrase, you explain it another way, using words you do know.
So you're basically forced to think faster in English.
Exactly. Pushing past those blocks, keeping the language flowing.
Got it. Then Sharon talks about describing pictures. That sounds kind of fun.
It is. It's a great way to learn new words and become more fluent. You find a picture, Instagram, magazine, anything, look at it for a couple minutes, then describe it. All the details you can.
So lots of different ways to do it.
Tons. And it makes you really think about what you're seeing and find the words for it in English.
That's cool. Now, moving past practicing alone, Katie asks about real conversations, how to feel confident.
Ah, yeah, the scary part.
And Sharon suggests role-playing.
Good one. So you imagine everyday situations, ordering food, asking for directions, and you practice them out loud. Maybe even act out both sides.
Like a little play.
Kinda, it's mentally preparing, so when it happens for real, you're not starting from scratch. You've already thought about phrases you might need.
So you react more naturally, using real-life phrases, as Sharon says.
Exactly. The more you practice beforehand, the more confident you'll feel when it's real.
So you're building a script in your head for those common situations.
Exactly. And that boosts your confidence, as Sharon points out.
One last technique Sharon mentions, summarizing news.
Oh, that's a good one. You pick a short news article and explain it in your own words, like you're telling someone about it.
Makes sense.
It's really helpful, exposes you to new vocabulary, different sentence structures. Plus, you have to understand it well enough to rephrase it.
You gotta think it through.
You do. And it helps you organize your thoughts clearly in English.
Putting it all together.
Right, so listening to Sharon, the big takeaway is consistency. Not those long study sessions, but small, regular effort. Even just 10 minutes a day adds up.
Huge difference over time.
And I love how she ends it. She tells Katie, I'll start today. Such a simple but powerful thing.
I know, taking that first step can be the hardest part.
It can be. Oh, and Sharon mentions some useful phrases like freeze up.
Oh, yeah, meaning you can't speak or move because you're nervous, like Katie in front of the audience.
Right, and get familiar with, meaning to become more comfortable with something like listening to different accents.
Formal classes?
Those are structured lessons, like what many people take for grammar.
Makes sense. What about it depends on?
That means something changes based on the situation, like how much progress you make depends on how much you practice.
Right. And lastly, get used to.
Meaning to become accustomed to something over time, like how Katie needed time to get used to speaking.
Knowing those phrases in context really helps.
It does, and the question session at the end adds some extra insights, like how role-playing helps because it prepares you for real life, makes your answers more natural, builds that confidence.
And summarizing news, not just for vocabulary, but for understanding better and organizing your thoughts.
Right, the last thing they talk about is so important. Being fluent isn't about talent, it's about practice. Plain and simple.
You got to put in the work.
And they end with a challenge. Pick a topic, talk for 1 minute, record yourself. Great place to start.
So wrapping up this deep dive, the main message is that improving your speaking doesn't have to be this big, scary thing.
No, not at all.
Even short, daily practice, using these techniques can make a huge difference. You can speak more easily, more confidently.
These aren't some complicated ideas. They're things you can do easily, fit them into your day.
Real, usable stuff.
Exactly. And here's something to think about. Out of everything we talked about, what works for you?
What feels right now.
Maybe it's that 1 minute challenge or talking to yourself. Think about why you might have hesitated to try these simpler things before.
Sometimes the best solutions are the ones that seem easiest.
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
It was a good one.
Yeah, it was.